Hey, so I am sitting here and I am doing math on the Khan Academy website, and I am just completely distracted by my thoughts about do your work and show your work. I don't know about you, but these things showed up a lot when I was a kid and in school. I would hear do your work a lot. I would hear show your work a lot. And it seemed like the common underlying theme was do your work. And it seemed like I heard quite a bit show your work. And what's interesting is I feel like I struggled more with doing my work than showing my work. But if you ask my teachers and my parents, um, they would probably say that I struggled more with showing my work than doing my work. Until later on in life when I, you know, kind of gave up on both. And once I gave up on doing my work, it all, like, everything started to collapse. Um, I I didn't really struggle with doing my work. I really like to do things, figure them out. I love to figure things out, to figure out how they work. And that kind of, has that, I had that natural push to do my work. I didn't really appreciate repetition when I was a kid. So as time went on, that started to wane for me, especially when I was learning things that I couldn't see how they would apply to my life, like fractions. I still don't see the point of fractions, even as an adult in my 30s now. If I qualify as an adult, like with decimals, like I don't really see the point of fractions, but I know how to, tell that part of my brain to shut up and like just do it and do it enough to, at least not be afraid of these things. But showing my work is something that you know, I probably have still struggled with up until recently. And now I'm at this point where, I'm constantly reminding myself to show my work, show my work. And on the other side of show my work is check my work. Because what's really interesting is where showing your work was what my teachers and parents were reminding me that I needed to do, because if an assignment said do these things and show your work, I would do it, but I wouldn't want to show my work until asked by someone else. It's like I wanted to make sure that it was right first to show my work. And I think a lot of that had to do because intuitively I may have understood that I kind of figure things out as I go. I need to make sure that what I'm doing is right because I'm not following best practice. I'm logicking things out. So, why would I want to solidify that memory path by recalling what I did if what I did was wrong? I need to know whether or not what I did was right or wrong before I go and show my work. And that's something I know that really held me back, especially in math and the science subjects, is, you would fail if you didn't show your work, but why would I want to reinforce that path in my brain if it was wrong? And that's something I didn't know how to explain as a child. And now that I'm an adult, like, and, helping myself learn these things with resources like Khan Academy, I'm realizing, shoot, like, I'll show my work just to make sure that what's interesting is I'll do the process of showing my work that the teachers always wanted, because I'm finding that I I struggled with checking my work. And up until recently, I've always struggled with checking my work. Like that's been a constant plague on, my past self. So now here I am like telling myself like, Jace, you got that problem wrong because you forgot to put in, the negative symbol on this answer that you knew was negative. Like, you worked it out, you got the answer, and then you put in a positive fraction when you knew it was supposed to be a negative fraction. Probably because you're trying to rush through this because you don't like fractions, but you have it there. So I've even had to, find out hacks so that I can not just not just check my work, but also check my answers, because that's something that's plagued me in the past way too much. Is I do the work, I I show my work, I check my work, and then I don't check my answers. And now I'm like at this point where like I'm constantly like checking my answers, and now I'm like, holy cow, like, yeah, like, check your answers, Chase. Like, constantly reminding myself, like, all right, you did it, you know the answer, put it in there, and then check before you hit, submit, that something didn't get lost in communication. And that's something that, in the past really went to make me feel like I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy enough, I wasn't capable enough. And now I'm at this point where I know I'm capable, I know I'm worthy, I know I'm smart, I know I'm, you know, able to do all these things. And I'm putting in this extra step of not necessarily, I have that motivation to check my work, but now I'm finding out ways to be certain that I've checked my answer. These little steps that I can handle that don't demotivate me by doing them, that I was, the things that I was traditionally taught. And now I'm finding ways, like, if I write an answer and it's a negative, I write the answer in red because I can do it on the whiteboard here and I've got, the color. So if I have an answer, like, I make sure it's in big in red, just like that. So I don't know if you can see that when I'm doing this, but those are the kind of things where I'm like thinking a lot about these things, like do your work, check your work. I'm really good at doing work. And I've had the reputation of struggling with proving my work. And now I'm, learning the tools to prove my work, like right now, and get better at that so that it's easier for me, because we like to do things that are easy for us. So I'm putting in the hard work of figuring out how to prove a lot of types of work that I didn't know how to prove, that I can't really just explain away because it's not a confidence game. They're facts, they're numbers, it's I can't tell people, just trust me. I have to prove my work, ask them to believe in me, not believe in me and, don't worry about it. Like, it'll either happen or it won't. Like, that's not enough anymore. And now that I'm working on, proving my work, I've also got to prove to myself that the answer that I know is in here winds up on the screen, in the email, on the piece of paper, and I need to check my answers just like I'm learning to check my work. And I'm just really, really grateful that I've lived long enough to see these things come full circle, that, there's so much that we're capable of. There's so much that we know for certain is impossible for us. That is just a complete lie we're telling ourselves, that other people we love and trust have compounded that belief in us. And I'm just here to tell you that anything that you think is impossible for you, not what's impossible for humanity as a whole. Let's just start with what you think is impossible for you. I am here to try and overtly inception the crazy idea into your head that it is not impossible, that you are capable, that it is possible, that you are worthy of your impossible.